Okay, so recently I started using Bloom again on my videos and using a new method of editing and trying to make them look a little bit better than the standard recording. Um, so I thought I'd make this quick little guide just to show people the method I use to edit my videos. Now bear in mind that I'm using the render mod, so this first section won't apply to you unless you're using the render mod. And it's just how I encode the file ready for editing in Adobe Premiere. So anyway, I'll get through this quick. Where are we? Downloads. Get my video file. So again, this is only for people who are doing the render. So you want to, first you'll need to download Shutter Encoder if you aren't already using that. I had mentioned this previously over on Discord. So yeah. Anyway, Shutter Encoder, so browse, get your video file, and then you want to change this to Apple ProRes in your function, and you want to change this to 4444. There we go. And then your source. So you can either leave it as it is, or quite a cool little tip. If you're rendering say 1440p, if you scale it to 4K, that quality actually will carry over to YouTube a little bit, because the video files qualities are much better until you upload them to YouTube, and then there's obviously YouTube's compression and all that rubbish. So if you take a 1440p video and upscale it to 4K, it will actually look better at 4K. And this helps with the YouTube's I forgot what they're called, the codec used to play your video. I think it does work at 1440p, but I'm not sure if it works all the time. But yeah, YouTube uses a different codec to play higher resolution videos. So when other people are watching your video, it will use that better codec. It does use this on standard HD videos for like big YouTube channels, but if you're a small channel like the majority of you all are and I am, if you just do a 1080p video, you're going to be using the worst codec. So having a higher resolution actually forces YouTube to use a better codec for your videos. So yeah, that's that. And that's it. So Apple ProRes 4444. Change this if you want, and then you set your output wherever you like, and that's it. So I'm going to pause the video here and run this because I don't want to be recording a 4K video and encoding a 4K video at the same time. So we'll be back in a second. Okay, so that's just finished. That's it, we're done with the Shutter Encoder now, so we can close that. And then you want to open your editing software. I use Adobe Premiere Pro. But I'm pretty sure this method, there's similar settings in all of the different editing software. I was using HitFilm before, and yeah, I think I remember seeing something similar in there. So I'll get into it, and then you can sort of Google for something similar in whatever you're using. So I'm going to import everything first. So we're going to go. So that's the file that's just been encoded in Shutter Encoder. We'll just take a look at. One thing to remember, they're massive file sizes if you're using Apple ProRes, so that's 45 gigabytes. So be aware of that for people doing the render. Anyway, open these, and the other one was just my outro. And then again, this is just for the render people, but you also want to add in your audio file. So then just drag all this in. And yeah, you want to, for the render people again, uncheck the snap to timeline, shrink this down, drag in your audio, and then just turn the volume down a bit. And you want to get to that first blocks, and then what I do is skip forward until you hear the click, and then I'll realign this so it's sort of clicking just as they've been sliced through. It's about right. So let's just play this quickly and see.
Like butter, like a criminal undercover. Don't pop like trouble, breaking into your heart like that. Cool shade stunner, yeah.
Looks good, looks in time. So the next thing, we're going to get rid of this white strip. Again, this is just for the render people. And all you want to do is, when you're in editing, effect controls, scale, and you want to change this to 115. Then that'll just scale it out. The next step is you want to go to effects. Now this is the main thing that I think everybody could use. So you want to go in your search, and you want to search unsharp mask. Here we go. So yeah, I think in other editing software, there are things that basically do the same thing as unsharp mask here, but I just think they're called something slightly different. So if you just Google it, I'm sure you'll be able to find the same sort of thing. So anyway, we drag this onto the video, and you see now it's added unsharp mask here, and all we're going to do is set the radius to 100, and then you can see there was a slight change. It sort of darkened, looked a bit clearer. And so now the next thing we're going to do is go to color, and then we're going to set white to -20. The reason for knocking white back a bit is when you use the unsharp mask, I think the blacks get darker and the whites pop out a bit, but it's a little bit too much. So that's the reason I do that. And then we're going to do black -2.7, and that just knocks the blacks back a bit as well. Again, you can play with these to find something you like, you know, like, 'cause if you notice it goes brighter and darker. Again, with the blacks you could drop it a bit further if you wanted, but it really starts to crush it out, so yeah, you got to be careful. But I found around about those settings work for pretty much everything for my taste. So yeah, that's that, and that's basically it. So I'm gonna pause the video here, finish off editing this, and then we'll come back to it. Okay, we're back. I finished editing. I was just adding like my title thingy at the beginning and my outro, and you know, some fade-ins and outs and stuff like that. One other thing I will show you for the render people, but I guess for anyone, like if you just right click on your audio track, go to audio gain, and you can increase this a bit, because they come out a little bit quiet, I've found. So for the renders at least, I've found 5.5 decibels to be as high as you can go without sort of getting distortion. But anyway, it's a nice little boost for YouTube, make it a bit louder for people. So once all that's done, go to export media, and now these are your export settings. So you want to first go to your format, and it should be on H.264. Preset, doesn't really matter. Change it to 4K YouTube to start with, but we're going to change things, so this will change to custom. And then if you scroll down, just make sure this all matches. You can change this if you want to scale it down or up, but I generally just leave it because we'd already sort of set this in Shutter Encoder, so there's no point changing it again. Frame rate set by the video already, all this stuff. Make sure this is on square pixels. You want render at maximum depth enabled. Now, this is where, if you've got a GPU, then hardware encoding can speed things up a lot. But I prefer software encoding, which just uses your CPU. And also with software encoding, it lets you choose the highest profiles. So I'll change all this to, hang on, what's happened there? There we go. Unrestricted, leave this, leave this. This will take a lot longer though, so there we go. Yeah, if you want it to be a bit faster and you're not too fussed about, because I don't know, I read the software encoding you get slightly better quality than hardware encoding. So yeah, and with hardware encoding you have to be on like level 6.1 I think, and profile set to high instead of high 10. I don't know if it makes that much difference, but I like to try and make it look as best as possible really. Now again with the bitrate, you can either use variable bitrate, and you really want to be using 2pass if you're doing that, and you want to maybe set your target bitrate at 50, and you could do a max as say 100, but this is up to you. But I actually prefer to just set a constant bitrate, and I just set it to 350, which is probably overkill, but I don't know. That's because I'm rendering at 350, 100,000 kilobits per second. I don't know. I just put that in, and yeah, then I don't have to worry. Ignore advanced settings, ignore VR mode, and then finally down here you want to use maximum render quality. Okay. And then once you've done that, you would click export, and it would just start doing it. Or you can queue it and open it up in media encoder if you want to do it that way. So yeah, that's about it. I'm not going to click export now because again my computer will probably freak out while I'm trying to record a video and render this at the same time. So yeah, that's about it for the settings, and I'll be posting this finished video of BTS butter. The reason I'm doing this is for my nephew's birthday. He really he likes BTS, and he just saw my channel for the first time, so this is a little birthday present for him. So yeah, I'll be uploading this, and then you can see the final product. So yeah, thanks.
Blood in my veins, yeah. I love on my face.